Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Alex Diaz with Vistalegre Rentals. Today we will cover how to survive a rent rise. It's the news no tenant wants to hear. The rent is going up. But while no one wants to fork out more cash than necessary, it is possible to survive a rent rise using a healthy dose of realism and some planning. Rental rises are governed by laws in each state, and the restrictions on how often they can be imposed and by how much varies from state to state, so there are some protections for you as tenant. However, it's best to assume that rent increases are a fact of life every year or two. Then if you don't get one, happy days. Tenants should factor in possible rent hikes and choose a property which does not stretch them to the limit. The bigger buffer you give yourself with fixed costs like rent, the easier you'll sleep at night. Consistently putting money away can also help soften the blow. It's always a good idea to have an emergency fund for anything life throws up at you. Ideally, at least 3 months of living cost, rent, bills, and groceries. But even a month's savings is better than nothing. It can really help you get out of a pickle without resorting to costly credit cards. Another trick is to offset rent rises by keeping a close eye on other costs of renting, such as internet bills, gas bills, water bills, energy bills, especially in the summertime. You can often get a better deal after a year or two by shopping around or negotiating with your current provider. Don't be afraid to talk them down. For many tenants, a rent rise prompts them to consider moving, but don't be rash. Don't be afraid to negotiate. As annoying as it is to move, it is also annoying for a landlord to find a new tenant. Check the local market and see if you can convince them of a reasonable amount. If it is really a done deal, do the sums. Does the actual increase justifies moving out? What about the mental stress? It's going to come down to questions such as, can you afford the stress or the extra cost? Renting can also be a dry run for life with a mortgage, so you got to keep that in mind too. Renting is definitely the time to form good habits that set you up for success later. Find a budget system that works for you, whether it's an app, a spreadsheet, a notebook. Track your spending and look for leakages. It can be a real eye-opener. Try and save some money above and beyond the rent for emergencies, but also long-term goals like a home deposit. There are advantages of renting, but in the long term, home ownership can provide a peace of mind that comes with owning your own home, and is often a good way to start and to build your wealth. Well, folks, we've come to the end of this video. Now you know how to survive a rent rise. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Alex Diaz, your friend in long-term rentals, vacation rentals, and property management in Puerto Vallarta and Riviera Nayarit.